Hi, my name is Gretchen Mills, and I'm a collections intern at the Vermont Historical Society. This is a sampler from our collection. Samplers were used to show off sewing skills and also to show off how you could stitch the alphabet, numbers, and even verses, such as the one here. Young women would have been showing off their sewing skills to appeal to prospective husbands and show that they were suited for housework. This sampler is from 1821, and it was made in Hardwick, Vermont by Sarah Bailey Cobb at the age of 12. Girls would have usually made samplers when they were elementary or middle school age. Samplers were usually made in schools rather than being taught at home. Sarah Bailey Cobb, who made this sampler, went to a school run by Miss Lucinda Washburn in Montpelier, Vermont. We know who she was taught by because, unlike most samplers, she stitched the name of the teacher. These schools where they made samplers were mostly run by single young women out of their house. In this case, this was out of her father's house, and tuition for this one was paid partially in firewood. Girls at these type of schools would usually be taught most of the typical subjects such as geography, French, English, along with dancing and needlework. Sarah Bailey Cobb got married 8 years after she made the sampler to Sergeant Field and had 5 children. Miss Lucinda Washburn ran a Sabbath school, which, along with Sunday schools, were not associated with the church, but rather a precursor to public schools run by charity. Because this sampler contains the name of her teacher, we were able to research her as well. First, we started with genealogical information, then moved to looking at newspaper advertisements that contained the teacher's name. In 1822, she placed an ad in the Vermont Watchman and State Journal advertising the school at her father's house. This top alphabet was stitched and thread dyed with iron, and over time, the dye degraded the fabric, which is why it no longer shows up. Thank you for joining us today, and make sure you follow the Vermont Historical Society on social media to learn more about our collections.